In this video, we are going to understand how to send daily SMS with inspirational quotes to customers. So here my objective is to send inspirational quotes to customers every day randomly. So I have the data into separate spreadsheets. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to schedule my workflow to run every day at a particular time. To do so, I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly which is schedule. And then I'm going to choose an action application which is Google Sheet where I have the information. And finally, I'm going to choose Twilio that helps in sending SMS. And I'm going to integrate these three applications using Pabbly Connect software so that the entire process can get automated. To understand how you can do this yourself, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page. Now on the right hand side, we have two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab, sign up. It is not going to take more than 2 minutes. So now since I'm an existing user, I'm going to click on sign in, and as I do that, we have reached all apps page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. These are all the products of Pabbly. Since we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect, I'm going to click on access now here. Now as we do that, here we have reached the dashboard. On the right hand side, we have a tab create workflow. Let's click on this. A dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. So what is my objective here? So I have got a list of customers and I have got another sheet with inspirational quotes. My objective is to send daily SMS with inspirational quotes randomly. So I'm going to click on create here, and as I do that, here we have reached another window which has got two different modules. One is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens. Action says do this. Basically, action here is the response of your trigger application. Now, I want to send daily SMS with random inspirational quotes to my customers, which means that my workflow is going to run every day at a particular time. So, I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly which is schedule. Let's click on this. And now, how often do I want my workflow to run? So, it is going to be every day. Now, let's say the time is 10 a.m. So, I'm going to select 10. Yes, and here it is 10 a.m. So once this is selected, now I'm going to click on save, and as I do that, here we can see that the response has been received that I want my workflow to run every day, and the time that has been mentioned here is 4:30. Why? Because this is the UTC time. This is 5.5 hours ahead of the Asia Kolkata time. Now I'm going to go down. Now I have got a Google Sheet where I've got the list of my customers. Let me show you the same. So these are the customers and I want to send inspirational quotes to these customers randomly. So I'm going to choose my action application here as Google Sheet. Let's click on this. And the action event here is get rows. Now let me click on connect. As I do that, here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with Google Sheets account. So let's click on add new connection, sign in with Google. As I do that, it is asking me to choose an account. So once I have chosen the account, it is asking me for the access. Now this is absolutely secure. So I'm going to click on allow. And as I do that, here we can see that the authorization has been successful, which basically means that Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect are now connected. Now here I have selected the action event as get rows. Why? Because I have got different rows here and I want the messages to be sent to each and every person. Now here we have to select the spreadsheet. So you can see that the name of the sheet has already been taken by the system. And since there was only one sheet, so it has already been captured by the system. Next is the range. So we have to enter the range of the sheet, which is to be entered like this. So basically here, when I select this, you can see the range has been mentioned here. It is A2 to C4. But here I can get more data. So how am I going to write the range? Here I'm going to write it like A2:C. Here I'm not mentioning the cell number. Why? Because there will be more data in the future. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And as I do that, you can see that I have received the entire data that was there on my Google Sheet. Now you can see that I have received the response. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this response in advanced format. Let me show you how to do that. So as I toggle this towards the left and I click on save and send test request, you can see here that I have received the collective data. This is not row wise, this is the collective data, everything that I have on that spreadsheet. Now I'm going to choose a feature by Pabbly which is iterator. So what it is going to do is it is going to segregate the collective data that I have received row wise. So let me show you the same. As I click on save and send test request, here I have received the data that belong to row number 1. Now once I have received this, what I want is I have got this other sheet which is inspirational quotes, and here I have got around 8 quotes. Now the quotes that are mentioned in this sheet, I want them to be sent to my customers randomly. Now to send this data to my customers randomly, what we are going to do is we are going to choose a feature by Pabbly once again, which is number formatter. Let's click on this. And here we are going to choose the action event as spreadsheet formulas. Let's click on connect. And here, let's understand which particular formula I'm going to use. So you can see the full list here. I'm going to click on this. Now I'm going to look for the formula that I want to put here, which is rand between. Now rand between actually helps you in defining the random integer between bottom and top. So here, let's say that I have got the details from row number 2 to row number 8. So between row 2 and 8, it is going to find out some random number, and then accordingly it will select the inspirational quote and send it to my customer. So I'm going to quickly copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. Now I'm going to change the range, and here I'm going to write 2, 8. Now once I do that, let's click on save and send test request. So here you can see that I have received the result as 8 because I am asking the numbers in between 2 and 8. When I click on this once again, here I have received another number. Again, as I click on save and send test request, you can see I have received another number. So this is how, as this workflow runs, it is going to send random inspirational quotes to my customers. Now once this is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the next action step, and this time I'm again going to choose Google Sheets. Let's click on this, and the action event here would be again get rows. Let's click on connect, and I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. Now here we have to select the spreadsheet once again. This time I'm going to select inspirational quotes spreadsheet. You can see the system has already selected the sheet, and here we have to mention the range. So I'm going to show you. So the range is A2, and again it is from A only. So what I'm going to write here is I'm going to mention A is to A, but the cell value that I have to mention, I'm going to take it from step number 4. So I'm going to click on this, go to step 4 here, and you can see this is the result. Now again I'm going to click here, go to step 4, and this is the result. So this is how I have to put in the range. Now as I click on save and send test request, so you can see that I have received the response. So here the response type is this. Then we have randomly received the inspirational quote, and this is the response result. Now every time this workflow runs automatically, first here I'm going to get a random number. That random number is going to become the range, and then it is going to give me the response. Now my last action step here is to send an SMS to the person. So here I'm going to choose the application Twilio to send SMS, and the action event here would be to send SMS messages. Let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with a Twilio account. Let's click on add new connection. Now to set up this connection, we need the account SID and authorization token. So I already have logged into my Twilio account. Here it is. So you can see. Now as I take you down, this is the account SID. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect, paste this over here and here. Then we have the authorization token. So this here is the authorization token, and I'm going to paste this over here. Let's click on save to set up this connection. So it is done. Now here we have to mention the body of the SMS, sender's number and recipient's number. So here I'm going to write dear. Now I need the name of the person. For that I'm going to go to step 3, and this here is the name of the person. Put a comma, then I'm going to write hope your day starts beautifully with this positive message. Now I'm going to map the message. So for that I'm going to go to step 5, and this here is the quote. Then I'm going to write regards Pabbly Connect. You can mention the name of the company. Now the method with which I have added the information here is known as mapping, and it is important so that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data into consideration. Had I written this manually, then even when my workflow was running for the nth time, it would have taken the same data and not the new data. So to avoid that, we prefer to map. Next is the sender's number. So here I'm going to enter the sender's number. Going back to Twilio, this here is the Twilio's phone number. And I'm going to mention this here. And the last thing is the recipient's number. So I'm going to click on this. Again, go to step 3. This here is the recipient's number. And here I'm going to enter the country code with the plus sign. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And as I do that, here you can see that we have received the response, according to which now an SMS must be received by the user. So let's go and check the same, and yes, here you can see is the screenshot of the message that we have received. So this basically means that our integration is a complete success. So let's go and check what we have exactly done. So here our trigger application is schedule, where we have scheduled this workflow to run every day at 10 a.m. in the morning. Then our first action application was Google Sheets, where we had to get the rows. Then our action application was Iterator, where we had the collective data which was there in the advanced format and we had segregated it row wise. Then we had our number formatter by Pabbly, which is a feature where we had used a spreadsheet formula so that every time my workflow runs, it can take random codes and send it to the customers. And then my action application was again Google Sheets, where I had to get rows. This is for the inspirational codes. And finally, my action application was Twilio, where I had to send the SMS message along with this inspirational code. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.